Hey, folks, welcome aboard. My name is Frankie Ruiz, and I am thrilled to be leading you guys here through a run and laugh as part of W.O.W, SoFlo, powered by T-Mobile. Big thanks to all our partners getting us to this point. We got Nike, we've got Michelob Ultra, and all of which we throw our big thanks towards for making this possible. I'm thrilled because this is the first time I think I've ever led a guided run with a I guess you call it an intention to make you laugh or add a little entertainment to running. And I know that some of us are always talking that running is boring and whatnot. Well, today I have with me Marcello Hernandez. Are you there?
Yes,
Hope.
man. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, man, loud and clear. So, so those who don't know Marcello, I will quickly give you a brief intro on him, and then after that, I'll give you kind of our quick format as to how we're going to start our run. But Marcello is a comedy master. He's a comedian who also has an athletic background, and I'll let him kind of, I guess, give you a little more of his personality as we entertain you for the next 30 minutes or so of running and exercise. So before I turn it over to him for a few things, um, we will ask you to kind of lace up those shoes a little bit and head out for your run. Or some of you may be on your treadmills, but go ahead and start on an easy jog. Your comfort level right now is paramount. So nice and easy, brisk walk for those of you that are just joining us for a walk or a walk run. And we'll be having you do this for about the next 5 minutes or so, and then we will move into some quick dynamic movements I'll walk you through, and then we'll start our actual run. And so I've got you guys already get started. I got your watch going, so about 5 minutes or so, you guys will be doing your warm up jog. I've got Marcello here, and I just wanted to ask him, kind of break the ice here a little bit. What was going through your mind when you got the call for this kind of gig, and like, hey, I want you to join, this running coach, which I think you know me already, for this thing. What was going through your mind at that moment?
I mean, honestly, I liked it. I like the gesture, because so many times people they tell you to run and they tell you how far to run and they tell you how fast to run and they tell you all this stuff about what you're supposed to do while running, but they never offer any entertainment. All my coaches, my whole life, they just told me to run, how far, how fast. They never told me what I was gonna do while I was running. Something to think about, a prompt, something to listen to. So I felt like immediately I was like, you know what? This would be nice. I would like to be entertained while I run.
Yeah, man. I gotta say, I'm entertained. Every night I go to obviously the Instagram account, your personal one. Which, if you guys don't have a moment now while you're running, later on, make sure you check Marcelo Hernandez out, because his account's awesome, and I'm entertained just sitting, usually on my couch. My wife likes to watch a bunch of his recap videos on Only in Date as well, and I'm entertained. But I can't say I've ever listened to Marcelo while on the run, and I think today you guys will get that chance to do that. So Marcelo,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, and this is also my first time, you know. I usually do comedy for people that are, sitting down listening to me talk. I don't usually do comedy for people that are, actively in pain, just grinding. So this is a first for me as well. So I hope you guys kill it today and you want me on more of your workouts.
Related are there, and I started finding things that kind of were surprising, that people actually have measured that you can get a similar workout from laughing. So those of you that don't want to run today, you might just want to stand around and wait to laugh, with some of Marcelo's jokes. But but anyhow, I think those of you that are doing your warm up, you have about another 2 minutes to go. Keep it nice and relaxed. Whenever I go through a warm up with my athletes, I always tell them, it's a steady effort. If you feel a little bit better towards the tail end of it, don't pick up. It's not the time to do it. So just keep enjoying your brisk walk or your jog right now. Hopefully you're paying attention to where you're headed. If you left your house, make sure you remember all the turns and whatnot. But you got another minute or so, and I will walk you through a couple of a quick warm up drills, and then we'll get started with your workout. But in the meantime, I did had another question for Marcello here. So you ran as a soccer player. I take it. Did you see it as a punishment?
Is running a punishment? Wow. I mean, I played up to college, so I think in high school it was definitely a punishment. In high school, definitely it's a punishment. The guys are not playing well. We're kind of acting crazy, and then coach has to set you straight. You start running, and then in college, you kind of get a new vibe. You're a little older, so in college it becomes more for like what I bet a lot of the people that are listening to us right now is, which is, you're kind of doing it for yourself or for the person next to you. Your teammate, your partner, whoever it is. You just kind of want to be better for them. So in college, you kind of start to get more of a group mentality, and you kind of start to think like, oh no, I want to run because I want to win the game, or I want to be a better teammate, rather than I'm running because I've been playing like crap. you know.
That's a good answer. All right, guys, you can slow down now, and we will walk through a few exercises here once you catch your breath. And you shouldn't be too out of breath after that warm up, but if you are, I'll give you a couple seconds here. One of the things you'll be engaging in a second or two is some forward lunges. I want you to do about 5 to 7 forward lunges with your left leg, 5 to 7 lunges with your right leg. You can alternate, or you can do them all together. Once you've gotten through that, obviously I'm not watching you, so I don't know how quickly you can do these things, but you don't have to do them all that quick. After you've done that, I want you to do reverse lunges. So that left leg's gonna come behind you. Squat down. Don't bend that lower back too much. Do the same with the right leg. Again, some reverse lunges. Once you've gotten through that, I'll give you about 5 to 10 seconds here. Jump into some easy squats. Push those heels down to the ground. Bend those knees and come down. Bring that butt as low as you can. Come back up. I want you to do this about 5 to 7 times. I'm going to give you ranges, by the way, a lot of abouts and range, just because I know we've got different levels on here. So if you feel like doing a few more, do them. I just don't want you straining anything at this point. Just do what comes easy.
I wanted to butt in there just for a second, and don't get discouraged if you hear your knees cracking, your back cracking. If you hear some noises that you weren't expecting to hear, don't get discouraged. All right, I'm 23, former college athlete. If I get down into a good squat, I'm gonna hear something. So don't worry. Okay, it's okay.
Especially after having a croqueta, right?
Especially if you had any croquetas today, allow yourself for a few unexpected turns during this workout, but
there you go, man.
stay with it. Don't get discouraged.
All right. So after those squats and lunges, I want you to go into some high knees. Let's do some high knees now for about 50 meters. So you count to about 10, 15 or so. So bring those knees up as if you were marching in a way, in an exaggerated fashion. Hopefully people are looking at you and laughing at you right now. All right. So after you've done that, I want you to go into some butt kicks. This is a soccer friendly drill. You're just gonna bring those heels up to your backside and do that for about 10, 15 seconds.
And fun fact about that, there's no way to do that and look manly at the same time. I just want everybody to know. So if you're trying to, don't even try. There's no way. Just get it done and move on to the next exercise.
Yeah, that's one of those exercises you can't do wrong either. Like, just somebody tells you to try to kick your butt. It's it is what it is. It's literal.
Simple,
just
baby.
kick your butt. And then the last thing I want you to do is some skips. And I guess this is where you can have some fun. Just have some, as if you were skipping through, the playground, or skipping through a field.
Yeah.
Bring
Try to
those
try to
those.
think. Try to think. When was the last time I skipped? Try to think.
That's like the question, right? Like I heard somebody ask, when was the last time you played outside? I'm like, damn, I'm 40 something years old. I can't remember the last time I played outside. I
Yeah.
wish I got a call from a friend to go play outside. You're younger than me, so maybe that you can remember the last time somebody called you to play outside,
I
or are
was
they still
thinking about
calling
that.
you?
I was thinking about that skipping thing because the skip is a weird move. We never use the skip if it's not for work. If it's not for a warm up, you don't skip for any other moment. The
That-
last time the last time I skipped, Frankie, maybe you've had a moment like this. The last time I skipped that I used the specific movement of the skip was at the supermarket, and I was trying to get to the line before somebody else, and I didn't want to run. That would be aggressive, and I couldn't walk because then they would get there before me. So I skipped, Frankie. I skipped. So it can come in handy.
That is true. That's true. People ask me, why are we skipping if we're not going to run like that? I'm like, you know what? I'll tell you right. I tell you right now, if you started skipping down the straightaway in on a 5K, I might get out of your way and I might let you beat me. So skipping is certainly
Yeah.
welcome. But anyhow, those exaggerated motions help us kind of warm up a bit, and we're ready to go here. It's we're about 10 minutes into this. I guess you'd say this session here with Wow SoFlo, powered by T-Mobile. So get yourself moving. Remember that where you're leaving from, the workout now will be about 30 minutes. So we will head out for about 15 minutes, and then you will turn back and get back to where you started. But along the way, I'm actually, and you've already should have started, by the way, because I started your clock. Along the way, I'm going to ask you to pick up the pace, do various uh, stretches of time where you will hold that pace for a little while and then ease off. So I want you thinking like you are in a car right now and you are touching the pedal and you're just lightly tapping it. We're just starting off. You don't want to gun it. I'm sure Marcello's thinking of a few, driving jokes in Miami, but for now, this is just an easy drive out from your area, your building, your house, wherever it is you are. So anyhow, I as you guys are running along, continue here this conversation with Marcello. I have a question. How do you, because runners are heckled a lot. I think running is probably second to comedians, the other heckled activity,
Yeah.
heavily a heckled activity. How do you deal with hecklers? You know.
Well, I'll say something just since we're talking to a bunch of runners right now. You guys, if you're running on the street right now, there's probably someone talking trash about you. But no, I think that runners don't get it as bad as the bikers. So I think if you see a biker, just know that guy is having a worse day in other people's minds than you are, because the runners, they get more respect than the bikers. Um, I think,
That
how do I deal with hecklers? I deal with hecklers with kindness. I I I think like the biggest laugh I've ever gotten, I think, from a heckler is after they said something that was totally useless in the middle of my set, and I said, "Oh wow, oh wow, thank you," and everybody just started laughing because they couldn't believe how kind of useless that was and how I just kind of welcomed it. So I think if anybody's gonna honk at you, right, you guys are running, or tell you your shorts are too short or that your socks are ugly, just give them a thumbs up. Give them a thumbs up, and they're gonna start thinking about their life.
Sure. No, I think heckling. I've even used it as a source of inspiration, right? Like you said, like you kind of make it part of your show. Well, make it part of the run as well. When somebody screams "Run, Forrest, run!" Start running a little faster. I mean, all and that's the least creative one, but it seems to be the most popular one. So you'll hear that a couple times. But
Right. Run,
anyhow,
Forest,
those of
run.
you that are out running, you're about 3 minutes into your run. I want you to pay attention to your arms. To avoid being heckled, make sure you're looking good while running, because some of us don't realize that we're being in bad form when we're running. So pay attention as if everyone is looking at you, right? Like Marcelo's on the side of the road ready to heckle you,
Listen.
or one of his hecklers is out there ready
Right,
to scream
right.
at you.
My hecklers are worse than
Um,
your hecklers. Your hecklers at least have to be sober because they have to be driving. My
that's
hecklers,
right.
my hecklers can be as intoxicated as they want. They're just sitting there doing nothing. So
That is true. That's true. So as you continue your run, I don't want you glancing at the watch and seeing your pace at this point. We are your pace right now. So if you're laughing with us and you want to pick up the pace because we're inspiring you to do so, then feel free to do that. But for now, nice and easy for another 30 seconds or so. And after these 30 seconds are up, I'm going to have you actually pick up the pace for a full minute. And that minute, I want you to pay attention to your cadence. I want those strides to be a little tighter, a little quicker with the leg movement, and overall, I want it to be as if you were like on a small bike, given that Marcello referenced bikers here. So and that effort level, if you were on a 1 to 5, I want you somewhere near a 3. So you will kind of breathe a little heavier on this end of the workout. So you got another 5 seconds before you start. 3, 2, 1. Let's rock. All right. Just keep going. I'm watching the watch. You don't have to pay attention to it. I'm going to tell you when to slow down. You've got. I'm your personal coach today, so no need to coach yourselves today. You got another 10 seconds. Keep it up. Don't lose that cadence. Keep that regular cadence. Don't slow down. Don't slow down. Another 2, 1. All right, ease off for a bit. We'll go through now a recovery pace. So keep yourself nice and easy. I don't want you shuffling the feet. If you're shuffling, you might as well get into a walk, which is okay. I just don't want you wasting the bottom of your shoes. No, in reality, I just don't want you messing up the form. So Marcello, I have a question. So runners, we obviously come up with our workouts, whether you're coached or you read books about running or magazines or whatnot. And so kind of have to come up with our own material. We got to get creative at times. We're not doing the same workout over and over. What do you do to come up with, I guess, better jokes?
So, Frankie, I
and
love that
wait, you have to end it. You have to end it with a joke, though. This is the answer to this.
I'll give you guys a joke, but
right,
I'll tell you something. I love that you made that comparison. So for you, running workouts are my jokes, right? So you sit in your office, you try to come up with running workouts, and I sit in my office and I try to come up with jokes.
That's good. I like that.
I like that.
I like that.
So it's a good way for people that are kind of out of it to understand what me and you do all day. We just try to come up. I try to come up with funny stuff, and you try to come up with better ways to get runners in better shape. So pretty interesting.
That's true.
There.
And actually, funny enough, Marcello did ask me, like, what does your office look like? Like do you just sit in the middle of the track? And I wonder the same. I mean, does Marcello just sit, in front of a carreta here in Miami and wait for an only made moment or something to pop up? I don't know.
So, it's interesting now because I haven't been doing stand up comedy. You have to be writing every day. Kind of stuff is happening to you every day, so you're writing it. And then now that I'm doing videos online, I kind of have to write on my own, kind of free write, kind of wake up and write every morning, and then try to see what type of ideas I can come up with. Kind of write without any intention, just write. And then, for example, some jokes come with that intention in mind. Like I wrote a joke about I don't know. Well, one time I was writing and I thought about how I used to have braces, and I wrote a joke about braces. But then the other day I was at dinner with my mom, and my mom stops me in the middle of the dinner and she goes, "Marcelo, what's the difference between a butt dial and a booty call?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that is a great question." And I was like,
"What was the answer, dude?"
And I was like, and I have the answer for you. A butt dial is by mistake, and a booty call is a mistake.
I like it, and I like it. If we were in front of the runners, I promise you, a few of them would be laughing right now because that was good, man.
Couple giggles here and there. I'll tell you one more even. And so, for example, my mom's Cuban and my dad is Dominican, right? And they both speak English, but I'm the best.
You're the what?
I'm the best. This is the best. What you're hearing right now, this is the best my family has to offer in terms of English speakers. Okay. So my mom, she's not like crazy bad at the language. She's really curious, so she has questions like that, like the one I just told you. But then my dad just doesn't know how to use the article a. You know, my dad, my dad is the type of guy to say something like, "I don't have dog, I don't have cat, but I do have children." That's who my dad is.
I like it, man. I like it. That's awesome. All right, runners, just hang tight because in another minute I'm gonna have you guys do something which we refer to as a strider, and this is a sort of a runner jargon that's thrown around quite a bit. But for the purpose of today's run, I want you to think of it as a glorified, good-looking, almost sprint. So this is where your foot comes down on the pedal, and there is a an acceleration, so it's not 0 to 100, but on the scale today we'll be at about a 4, maybe even 4.5, where I want you picking up the pace for a full 15 seconds, and that is it for that little session. So you got 10 seconds. Here we go. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to pick up that pace, pick up that pace, pick up that pace. All right. You should be at about near your strider pace right now. Don't get any faster. Just hold that. Just hold that for another 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to ease off. All right. Good, 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 good recovery. I hope when you do these striders, you're paying attention, you're self-aware to your form. That chin is down, those shoulders are nice and relaxed. My jaw is bouncing. I mean, you're a commercial right now. Everyone's looking at you. That's what the strider is. So good work, because I see one of you running by my office now. No, I'm kidding. But I think you get the gist of it. So keep going. We are you're actually about 10 minutes into your run. You have another about 19 to 20 minutes left. So looking good. All right, Marcello, so I'm going back to you for a second here, and you've been awesome so far. Let's make fun of the runners for a little bit here, because we do get heckled and so forth, but you're asked often, right? Like at parties, like, what do you do for a living? And obviously everyone, I'm sure asks you become like the life of the party when you say you're a comedian. I think there aren't tons, of comedians that, go to dinner together in a group of friends or whatnot. So certainly
Right.
you're an interesting person, but you get that question asked often. But what kind of question would you ask, like, say, a runner? Like, what's the, I don't know, like the
I'll
most,
tell you
go for it.
I'll tell you something. And this is, I'm glad this part got here of the show, because I have a gripe with you runners. You know, I think that runners are a lot like people that eat spicy food, you know. Um it's just like you enjoy being in pain. You understand? Like it seems like you're just like a masochist, and you get pleasure out of pain, because running is the only thing that people will be like, my leg, and it hurts so bad, and my back, and my arm. And then they tell you, and you should come with us next week. It's like, why would I want to end up like you? You're hurting. You're in pain.
You know what, that is, you're spot on, and you're spot on. As the runners are in a little bit of pain coming off that strider right now, hopefully not real pain, because if you are, I want you to stop. Which, by the way, make sure this is a safe run and you're keeping your distance and all those sort of social distancing requirements and so forth. But where was I going? Oh, and that so when you do ask a runner, like, do you really enjoy that, this and that, I can see how people, struggle a little bit to give in, and like, yeah, I guess, I'm going to try that tomorrow. Most certainly I can relate it to spicy food. My wife hates spicy food, so I'm not a big fan either, but if it's a little spicy, I'm okay. But I can see where I dislike, sweating. I was eating with a friend today, and he was sweating, his forehead was sweating. I don't know, it's something he ate at we were eating at Chipotle. So 4 weeks of running. Some people judge, just like they judge, a comedian by their first joke. Don't judge the run by the first run. You give it some time, 4 to 5, jokes in. Do you decide if Marcelo's a hit or not? That's up to you, right? But I
Right.
say the same for running. Give it 3 or 4 weeks till you get yourself in some shape, and you'll understand a little bit better if it's something for you. Those of you that are out running, you're about 15 minutes. So you're going to be approaching, maybe pick a mark right now where you're going to turn around, you see that street light ahead or a sign. Don't turn around in the middle of the road. Don't dart out in front of traffic. So if you got to go past the 15-minute mark, that's okay. And then you'll head back in the same direction you came, or maybe it's a loop that take you about 15 minutes to get back. Because if you don't get back in 15 minutes, you got to jump on that Uber or have a nice walk back. So make that turnaround in about 20 seconds here while I guess thank our sponsors one more time. I want to thank Nike Miami, Michelob Ultra, which we've got something to talk about Michelob Ultra in a bit, about the happy hour after this is all done, our virtual happy hour, Body Armor, T-Mobile, Publix, Baptist Health, Florida Blue, and Deliver Lean, all big parts of making this thing happen. So head back, start angling your way to the direction you came from, and we're gonna get ready for one more pickup here. Just those of you that are wondering how many more, Frankie, I'm gonna give you a couple more, but this next one's gonna be a little different in that I want there to be 2 surges. So you will pick up for about 5-10 seconds, ease off for another 10 seconds, and pick up again for 5-10 seconds, and then go back to your normal sort of steady pace. And we will start this in 10 seconds. Get yourself ready. Make sure that chin is down a bit. And let's get those arms pumping. Let's start. You got about 10 seconds. Pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. You should be at that top speed right now. Effort level 4.5. Hold it, hold it, hold it. All right, ease off. Ease off, ease off. Good. Stay relaxed, stay relaxed. And let's pick up again for another 5 seconds. Here we go. Go, 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 go. You're accelerating, accelerating. Ease off a little. And steady it, steady it. And 3, 2, 1. All right, pull back and go back to your steady pace. You are at about 17 minutes worth of running. Proud of you guys. You've made it this far. You got to get back to the house or get back to your building or your car. Hopefully you're doing it safely. It might be dark out there if you're running in Miami. Wherever it is you are, just make sure you're staying safe. So I'm going to continue things here with Marcello. Hopefully, Marcello, we haven't bored you, right? Like, even though running is boring, maybe talking about running can be considered boring, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you something. This is the most fun I've had doing anything running related.
It's like that you're late at night, you're watching those infomercials, and they're talking about working out, and you're like, yeah, I think I'm getting a good workout just watching other people work out. I guess this would be close to that.
I mean, when I'm gonna hang out with some friends later, they're gonna ask me what I did today. I'll be like, oh, I did this, running event.
I love it, man. So I know that you I guess have aspired to be a comedian for the majority of your life, it seems. I think maybe there was a moment, and I want you to tell me where that moment is. But as you've been sort of, I guess, pursuing this career and then doing so well as I've taken notice especially these last couple of months. Is there anything as a comedian that you wouldn't laugh at? Curious.
So I'm only 23, right? And I've been doing comedy for about 5 years. So I don't pretend to know everything about it. I still consider myself a little bit of a young buck in the game. Despite, anything that I have going on now. I think I take a lot of my philosophy from Jerry Seinfeld, and he has really good, insight on that question when I heard him answer it. And what he basically says is, I just wouldn't want to misrepresent anything. So it's not really that there's anything that I don't want to joke about. It's just I don't want to lie. So if I'm not excited about the topic or it's a lie, I can't really do it. I kind of have to operate from a genuine feeling about things. So if I'm not a political guy, I don't like politics, I'm not really interested in it, I find it a waste of time. When I start to try to do political material, it's just not going to come out right. So it's really all about finding that genuine feeling, so that you can kind of make it better, and not feel like you're wasting your time when you're working on it. Because I work on these jokes for months, Frankie. So if I don't care about the idea, there's no way I'm gonna keep up with it.
So, if I would have given you these questions or this conversation beforehand, like, I mean, we would have been in sync on this, and just so happens to be that we are in sync. And I didn't give you these questions, but the what you brought up about running is what I want people to think about now as they're out on their run. And again, I know that this was all about laughter and so forth, and we wanted you guys just cracking up a storm while you're running. But this, I guess, could be considered the message today, which is, be true to the run, be true to your exercise. In that, you gotta have a sort of a passion for doing it, especially if it can be a little uncomfortable. And it's just worth more that way. Once you make that decision, it's going to take some hard work to get there before you realize whether or not this is something you want to continue doing. If it's a drag, then move on to something else. I'm all for everyone running all the time, but make sure, and it could be just a specific run, right? Like, you might just feel that day is just not your day to actually push hard. Well, push off, go easy, or just go for a walk or a bike ride and change it up. So those runners that are out there right now, you are past that midpoint. Your 25 minutes is what I have on your marker. So you have another 5 minutes or so to go. I want to, obviously congratulate you guys for getting this far, but I don't know, ponder that for a second or two. I said I wouldn't stay quiet much during this run, but I did want to give you about 15 seconds to just listen to your breathing and chill out for a bit before we keep making you laugh and entertaining you. So we got 15 seconds starts now. Pay attention to your form. This is somewhat of a set, let's call it. Five seconds. And all right, go back to your listening of us and our hopefully some of our funny stuff back and forth here. So Marcel was talking to us about things he wouldn't laugh at and so forth, and we got into this whole philosophical thing about the types of jokes and material he goes after. But I do want to recognize something about Marcello, is that his comedy. One of the things I have enjoyed about it is that anyone can listen to it and not feel like they've got to cover their ears or say something or
Right.
hear something that might be vulgar. And I think that takes talent in this day and age. I mean, you can start cursing up a storm, sound funny for a bit, but if the material is not intelligent and well thought out, it's not funny. At least not to me, it isn't. So maybe other
Right.
people like the other stuff, but
I have
I thank you for that.
Yeah, man. I have a good story about that. Quick story. The first comedy club I ever worked at, the owner was this old Lebanese guy, and it was in the middle of Ohio. The place called the Funny Stop Comedy Club. It's considered an F club. That's the grade that it gets. Uh, it's an F. Like, they even made a documentary about clubs like this one, just how bad they are. And this guy, he said that one day Steve Harvey performed there, and he told Steve Harvey that he has to perform clean. So basically, now every amateur that comes into that club has to work clean, or they don't get on stage. So that was my first comedy club. That guy would introduce me as Marcello Hernandez. Um, and now coming to
Wow.
the stage, he would announce all the comedians. This like 60 something, 70-year-old Lebanese guy is the announcer for the comedy club. And he's like, your host from Cuba, Marcello Namando. I mean, the guy never got my name right once. I worked there for like 2 years. He literally would call me Marcello Manando, and he would tell people that I'm from Cuba.
Oh gosh,
So that
that's
was my
awesome,
first
man.
comedy club experience. But because of that crazy Lebanese guy that didn't let me go on stage if I wasn't completely clean when I was 19 years old, first starting comedy, I basically started writing all clean material. And then when I wasn't working for him, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep writing clean material, because every time I go on stage, I'm kind of not worried about somebody else talking about what I talked about, because everybody's talking about sex or about alcohol or about drugs, and I kind of keep it a little cleaner. So I'm never worried about what the person before me or the person after me is going to say, because most of my material is kind of, unique, compared to the the average comic,
That's awesome, man. Runners were resistant to change, and we're pretty habitual. And I'm sure the runners that are out there right now running are following either their routine, or maybe there's new ones starting up a new one now. Don't change. Stick. I guess in a way, be like a runner on that. Don't change on that, because I think that's what makes you different. And runners, we'd like to say we're different, and certain things make us different for sure. I did want to ask everyone to have one more pickup here. I'm gonna have you pick up actually for a full 30 seconds in another 15 seconds. So we are at 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to pick that effort level up to about 3, and I want you to hold that 3 for the next 30 seconds. Let's keep ourselves there. Your breathing is nice and relaxed. Those hands are also relaxed. Keep them close to your body. They come up as they come past your thigh, your hips, and they come as high as your chest. No need to swing them across your body. Just let them swing along your sides. Lock that elbow. You got another 10 seconds here before you slow down. 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're awesome. You're awesome. Keep it up. Keep it up. Good. Go back to that steady pace. We're almost done. A couple minutes here before we bring you back to your house, or back to wherever it is you started. I keep bringing that up, but just don't want anybody to get lost and later on tell me, Frankie, you can't find my way home. So we're here with Marcello. I start off saying, that this the I guess one of the local reason, or one of the reasons why Marcello is so well known locally, is because of Only in Dade. And I wanted to ask him, what's the craziest thing you've seen on Only in Dade, that kind of got your reaction, and you found yourself telling the story and making it even funnier. What have you seen on there? Because I feel like every day it just what I saw yesterday gets topped by 2 or 3 new things.
Right. Well, man, lately, I think the biggest thing that I talked about on the Only in Dade account, I mean, the funniest thing in my opinion was, do you remember when in the I-95 they put Nod by mistake? They wrote Noh or Norht, and I just
Yeah.
couldn't. I can't think of anything funnier than a Cuban guy painting north on a thing and just being like, "Oye, escribe ahí, Nod, escribe ahí, I-95 Nod." I mean, the guy literally wrote Nod. It's like it can't be written any better than that. Norht. Ese es el I-95 Nod.
You know what, that is probably, I'm gonna put that one on my top 5 for sure. And then hearing, that's right, watching you do the recap was just on point, man. That was perfect. And I probably think it was exactly the way you described it. That's the worst part about it, right?
That's what you hope.
Does anybody?
You hope that.
I want to know, did it get fixed? Do you know?
I don't know. We didn't. We should have followed up on that. I know we were thinking about making T-shirts, making I-95 Note T-shirts. I feel like those would have done well, but I just want Miami to know now that you can't slip up, because you have a comedian that's going to be talking about you. So watch out when you go out.
Well, we can't slip up as runners either, because we have a comedian that's probably gonna make fun of us, which is fine. We have our hecklers. We have now comedians that make fun of us, which is good too. Hopefully, we gave Marcello some material, and he gave us some as well.
And let me ask you one last question here, and I'm sure all the runners
Yeah,
will find this
go
one
for it. Go
interesting.
for it.
So you've been running your whole life. Obviously, you're big in the running community. I surf a little bit, and sometimes when you surf, there's some people that show up, and they don't know what they're doing. They kind of show up with the leash on the wrong foot, or they're wearing too much sunscreen, or they're wearing a hat. They just look crazy. When people look crazy like that, when you're surfing, you call them a kook. Kind of somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. Look at this guy, he's a kook. So for runners, when you see, what is it? Is it the headband? Is it the wristband? Is it the neon socks? What is it that
Oh
you need
man.
to see that tells you, hey, this guy's a running kook?
All right, before I answer that, I want to make sure that you guys don't run too far today. But those of you that are still with us, hopefully in your run or in your walk slash run, you have about 40 seconds left. I don't want you to finish fast. I don't want you to finish hard. I don't want you to empty out your tank. Um, all the all the different sayings people have. I don't want you to go to the well. I don't need you to finish like you've been chased by a dog or something I saw recently. A runner being chased by a cougar. I don't need any of that right now. I just need you to keep running at the pace you're running at. You've got another 30 seconds, and you're gonna just kind of fly that plane straight back to where you started. No need to accelerate as you come to a stop. And the reason I say that is I want you ready to go again, not today, but I want you ready to go tomorrow, and I don't want you to end on a bad note. I want you to end on a positive note and just leave a little more in the tank that you could maybe even save for tomorrow. So you'll finish this run today. Have some water and chill out. You'll do a slightly longer cool down. Hold those stretches more like yoga. You can stop now. You've been running for 30 minutes. So you'll walk through some of those, maybe even those stretches you learned in physical ed education. This is the time to do those. We call that static stretching. After you've kind of walked around for a little bit, you don't want to just jump right into the stretches. But so here to wrap things up, Marcelo asked, what do we call runners that I guess are a little. What did you say? You said you called kooks. Is that what you said? You call your
Somebody, it basically means somebody that just looks like it's their first rodeo. Like, for example, I play soccer, right? As well. This might be a more understandable example. When you go out to play soccer,
yeah.
like pick up soccer, and you see a guy wearing the entire Brazil uniform, you immediately know, this guy is probably, a newbie, a bit of a kook, a noob.
So I think we look. This is something I make fun of the media all the time, right? Like the media always reports that a jogger was involved. Never a runner, right? It's always a jogger. The jogger was chased by a cougar. The jogger was hit by a car. I mean, all these. I mean, some bad and good things, right?
Right,
Or funny things.
right.
And I'm always there, and I'm like, man, maybe that guy was. And it's a jargon, and you can look back at the history of the word. But I don't know. I don't want to say I'm offended, but I'm like, what does a jogger look like? And I hope the folks that are out there, none of them look just like this, but the jogger is typically somebody that is at a red light, all right, and he's waiting for the crosswalk signal to change, and he's running in place. And so his water bottles bouncing all over the place, his Walkman, because he doesn't have an iPod, is bouncing. He does have the headband. He does, have the wrist, the sweat bands. He's got it all. He looks like he's gonna be running for 4 hours, an ultra marathoner. That I don't know what you call him. We sometimes refer to him that, even during this run today, I've been telling people to jog, so it's difficult. But the jogger is
Yeah, 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 yeah,
is
yeah.
is that guy. Which, you know what? If you are that guy, I celebrate you, because it gives us something to smile at the red light. I'm not making fun of you, but I'm just saying you can stop. You can put your watch on pause, and your run is still gonna count. You'll be okay. But that's
Those-
always something that I
You know
crack up
what?
at. But
I think a lot of people here are happy to know that one of the best running trainers in Miami is telling you, hey, 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 you don't have to jog in place, bro. You're fine. You can stop running for one
oh
second
man.
and let the light go until red and then start running again. It's okay.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
you know that you guys, I think you may, I don't know if you did it, you had a recap on, but there was something on the day, was an accident that happened, but pretty bad. Luckily, everyone survived, and there was a runner that actually almost got hit by the car, and he dodged the car, like he saw the car coming, and then instead of stopping, to help, he just kept jogging, kept doing his thing. And maybe he was running for time that day, and he won't you're certainly not on his Instagram. So get on it. He's Miami. He's so much more than that. Actually, I think he's broadened his appeal to many of us. So thank you for doing what you do. Hopefully you'll inspire some non-runners to get into running because they can listen to, I don't know, a comedy podcast or something else. So
yeah, man.
thank
Thank you
you.
for having me. Thank you all you guys for being on this run with me, and I hope you had some fun, and I hope you got that grind in.
Yeah, man. And the person who didn't run today, I'm told that it's still a workout. So that's you're okay. According to
You
some
had a couple
studies,
of
that's
laps.
just as good. Hopefully you got that in there. I did want to remind everybody that we do have a Michelob Ultra virtual happy hour as part of WoW SoFlo series. We have a cool virtual happy hour thanks to Michelob Ultra. It's very easy. Today after this run, or tomorrow after our next run or workout, or any day for that matter of this week, you share a photo on your Instagram, cheering with a Michelob Ultra, drinking a Michelob Ultra, at least just there. You don't have to be drinking it. Tag Mind Body Social and Michelob Ultra, and even myself. I'm Frankie Ruiz, by the way. I don't know if I introduced him at the beginning, but either way, Frankie Ruiz. And everyone who posts will receive a prize, such as a towel, water bottle from Michelob Ultra. And then at the end of the week, we're actually going to pick 3 winners who are going to be selected for a grand prize, which includes a Michelob Ultra cooler and a $200 gift card. Damn, I think you're definitely going to go, hopefully, out there, buy a 6-pack and tag us along the way. But thank you for joining us. Big thanks to all the sponsors: Nike, Miami, Michelob Ultra, Body Armor, T-Mobile, Publix, Baptist Health, Florida Blue, and Deliver Lean. My Body Social. Thank you. Peace.